very pleasant evening to you and welcome to 18's Press Roundtable. Press Roundtable is a convergence of media practitioners who dissect news and current affairs to provide the right balance. Today on Press Roundtable, we will be discussing Bayelsa State, government to reduce working hours for civil servants, and the Benue State autumn ready for probe. And in Oyo State, Makinde joins labor protest. And our FCT, police nabbed second most feared wanted kidnap kingpin. My name is Angel Nkoma. After this time out, I'm going to introduce the guests we have this beautiful evening. Just stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Thanks for staying with us. This evening on Press Roundtable, we have our guest. He's a veteran broadcast journalist. His name is Judge Kingsley Papamie. Judge Kingsley Papamie, good to have you. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Atlantic Television Network on Press Roundtable.
Sure.
We're good to have you. Okay, these are the topics we're going to look into right now. The first one is hardship. Makinde joins labor in Oyo State. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Tuesday joined Nigeria Labour Congress NLC protesters in the state in raising agitation about the deteriorating economic situation in the country. The governor said hardship and poverty have reached alarming levels, with many unable to feed themselves or find work. He urged all parties to work together to find solutions, expressing hope that the situation can be turned around. Governor Makinde noted that the worsening economic situation is not unique to Oyo State, but rather a nationwide issue. He also called on the federal government to take action to alleviate the suffering of the people, emphasizing the need for policies that promote growth and job creation. Recognizing the prevailing hunger and discontent in the nation, Makinde emphasized the importance of unity in addressing the challenges, stating that the solution lies in our collective efforts to tackle these issues. The governor pledged to convey the concerns raised by the NLC and civil society organizations in the state regarding the economic hardship to President Bola Tinubu. He also assured the protesters of his commitment to fostering a better future for Nigeria, highlighting the initiatives implemented by his administration since October to alleviate the impact of the economic difficulties. Now encouraging peaceful demonstrations, Governor Makinde, however, urged the protesters to maintain order both during and after the protests. I think you can see that pictorial expression showing that Makinde joins Labour protests, and actually he's encouraging them, saying he's going to report, he's going to meet with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in order to make sure that everything falls into places, because I think he supported them. For him to come to join the Labour protest, I think it means a whole lot as a governor of the state. So what do you think about that?
Yes, I think our governors are beginning to give life and hope to the hopeless. That's what it means. Because we are aware that the citizens are already losing hope and disappointed in the government, first of all. But I want to look at this matter very clearly in a very unique aspect. That is to say, our governors should rise up to the occasion. It's not only coming out to share the problems with the people anyway, but that time has come when the state governors across the country should be thinking about sustainability plan. If there is a sustainability plan, our citizens won't be running helter-skelter. Because right now, Nigeria is boiling. Nigeria is boiling everywhere, both at the upper strata and at the lower strata. Everywhere is boiling. But now, how can solution be rendered to this problem? Lies totally on the governors. Because I see where most of our governors should have invested in a concrete sustainability plan. That's to say, what is the occupation of the people of Oyo State? What is their plan? And how are they going to make this plan impact on the people and also sustain generations yet unborn? But you see, unfortunately, we see ourselves in an economy where every politician says he's coming to lead the people, comes with the vision of his predecessor. He is not coming with his own vision, but he's coming with the vision of his predecessor, where he's going to follow up with his footprints, rather than keeping a legacy that will benefit the people of society. That's why today Nigeria is running helter-skelter for help. Otherwise, we have everything it takes to get what we want. Nigeria should not pretend as if we don't have what it takes to get what we want. We have all. The soil that we have today, by the grace of God, if not all over Nigeria, part of Nigeria, is well blessed. Where even without manure, whatever thing that you put on the soil, like a river state here, whatever thing that you put on the soil must grow. There is nothing in the river state that if you plant is in the soil, that will die. It's not possible. I have not seen it. Without even fertilizer, it will grow and yield substances. But what we are saying here is that River State as a state, Bayelsa State, Akwa Ibom State, Cross River State, they have not actually come up with a blueprint, aside from the federal government. This is what we can do that can sustain our economy. This, like, if it is River State, I would say River State need a lot of fishing trawlers. That's number one. Okay. Two, we have vast space of land where they can clear, employ people from school to farm. If that is not enough, we have a lot of graduates that are in the agri sector that can come, train and retrain people to go into agriculture, just like that, and even empower them, and government and other banks and other financial institutions can also empower them. But it's not there, and the 36 states as a nation are relying on the oil. And today, what we are seeing very open to us is that if this oil eventually vanishes, then Nigerians will die. Okay. That's it. So okay. We all want to say that the good intention of the state governor joining the protest is good, but where is the solution? The solution cannot come from the presidency alone. It has to come from the state to the local government, from the local government, then it can talk about the federal government.
Yes, because
but for now, nothing. There is nothing Nigerians can boast about the economy of Nigeria.
Exactly.
It's a very huge disappointment.
Exactly, because I don't think it's just only joining the protest that is the main thing. Yes. Is profiling solution after, and then, you know, to make sure that everything they achieve what they want, because he said he recognized the fact that there is prevailing hunger and discontent in the nation, and he now said it is not just only them alone, because it cuts across all the nation, that the solution only lies in collective effort to tackle these whole issues. That means if he, as a governor, Makinde, joins a protest, that means other governors joining wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't be a problem. And for as long as he has assured the protesters of his commitment to fostering a better future for Nigeria and like trying to get it down to the presidency, okay, and I think something has to be done, and other people also need to, you know, borrow a leaf from what he has already done.
Exactly.
You know. All right. Okay, we also have other stories. Now, coming from Bayelsa, I said government to reduce working hours of civil servants. Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doyi Diri, has said that his administration was working towards cushioning the effects of the prevailing economic hardship in the country on workers in the state. Senator Diri stated this on Tuesday while addressing members of the state chapter of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, led by Chairman Comrade Barnabas Simon, on the nationwide protest against hunger and poverty at the government house in Egua. The governor showed that he would meet with the state heads of service and the NLC chairman to discuss the modalities to reduce the working hours of civil servants in the state, with a view to mitigating their plight. Now, while commending the NLC for peacefully carrying out the protest, he equally applauded the security agencies for allowing the protest to hold as it was a national directive to all the Nigerian workers. And he said, I quote, "I want to assure that if a worker-friendly government from day one will we consider the issues you have raised, particularly the reduction of man-hours of workers." And he said he's going to dialogue with the head of service and the Bayelsa State NLC chairman to look at the appropriate steps to reduce the working hours of their workforce. Now, he said the current economic situation has no boundaries. Workers are affected. The federal government and states are also affected. In all their projects, contractors are also asking for cost variation. Now look at this one. It's talking about this one is coming from the Bayelsa State. Yes. I said they are actually working on modalities to reduce the working hours for civil servants in order to make sure that they also fit in, because what we're experiencing is really so much in Nigeria. Now, how do you think this could really go a long way in helping our society at this moment, at this time of hardship that cuts across all the states? Not just only in Bayelsa, but here also in River State, in Imo State, in Enugu, in fact, all the states in the Federation is affected. Now, reducing this working hours, it's only Bayelsa states that just say they want to reduce the working hours. Do you think it's going to help people? Do you think it's going to help the economy? I
think it's going to make the economy worse. Because
if he reduces
the working hours, it's going to make the economy worse.
Okay, how?
And as well, make the civil servants lazy. Now, what we are talking about here is looking for a tangible solution. Now, before you become a governor of a state, you had promised the people of the state what actually the dividends of democracy are going to impact in their life. Now, talking about the hardship and the hunger, is it not part of the mandate your people gave you and what you said you are going to do? What was your vision? What vision do you have for the people of Bayelsa State? Is it that when they are in crisis of this nature, you will come back and tell them that you want to reduce hours of their working hours? When you know that working hours, if they have to put in enough working hours, it's also going to make enough money for the people. And then you are reducing hours. You are reducing of the hours going to solve the solution of putting food on their table.
And then, okay, now, when if he reduces the working hours, is he trying to tell the people of Bayelsa that they will now use that opportunity to create their own job? Because for you to now survive, maybe you need to have a plan B.
Yeah, alternatively. Yes. Then what about the plan B of the state?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
The plan B of the state, that's what we're talking about. That he as a visionary, is the vision of the state, and he is the leader of the state. Fine. Now, what promise did you give to the people of Bayelsa State that I want to be the governor of the state? What are the sustainability plan you have? You must have a sustainability plan for your people. That if the oil money refuses coming, all right, and now the oil money was delayed for 3 months, so to speak. Yeah, and then if the people do not have what to sustain themselves, food, water, and other logistics, and other infrastructures, what plan do you have in place? Do you have did you set up a committee that will take care of these issues, or on your own you came out just to say this word as a politician so that they can politicize the issues and then neglect their problems? Is what we are talking about. That this is actually the problem of this country. That our governors are not making any good thing that will impact on the people. That is to say, as the governor of Bayelsa State, for the period of 8 years that is going to be in that seat, what legacy, what value system is it keeping for the people, that if the next governor is coming, that this is where it's going to start from? America has 115 refineries. How many refineries do Nigeria have? Even Cameroon recently had 5. What are we talking about here? There's a lot of oil wells in Bayelsa State. There are a lot of oil wells in River State also. What are these governors doing concerning how to transform the oil into so many of we have what do you call it? Indorama Petrochemical Company, isn't it? That uses the oil to produce other substances, isn't it? How is these 2 state governors? First of all, what are they doing with the economy in their states? Because Bayelsa State has a very big sea. River State has a very big sea. Do they have fishing trawlers that are going out daily to bring in fish for the people and to empower the people? Do they have anyone? None. First of all, because these are rivers. We are very close to the Atlantic Ocean, very very close there. So what are they doing with the economy of the state? The economy of the state is nothing to write home about. And then you are talking about working hours. The people that are working have not told you that working hours is our problem. They are telling you that hunger and food is our problem. So you must look for the solution to hunger and poverty affecting the people. That is the primary target of any governor. Because if you don't have a sustainability plan, this protest that I'm backing on is just a soft measure. There could be a period when things become worse. What do you expect? Is it what do you call it? Revolution. And when revolution comes in, it is something that you as a governor you cannot hold. So this is just a test case for every state governor. It's a test case, not a test case for Tinubu. Tinubu is the president, yes, but that the governors in these states, what are they doing? There must be a sustainability plan. Right from when Obasanjo took over power till now, Nigeria do not have a sustainability plan. It's a shame, a complete shame that this country do not have sustainability plan. That if today the oil finishes, everybody will die. It is very, very annoying that we have governors in several states with several vast of lands and other infrastructure that they can key in to invest and also to empower Nigerians in several aspects to ensure that there's social security. Now, right now, there's no social security, and that means there's social risk. If there's no social security, there's social risk, and if there's social risk, meaning that at any point in time, anything can blow up. And with anger and frustration, people could target oil wells. All right, people could target viable infrastructures to say, since the government is not doing well, let us do this thing to endanger the economy. And then will government sit and watch them? This is the time that since Nigeria is boiling, security measures should be adequately put in place in in strategic infrastructures that government has. Otherwise, if we can wake up one morning and see our country in flames, that's what it means. Because people are angry at this time. So every security architecture should be a very strong plan for every governor. You must plan your state very well, plan the security infrastructures very well, and make sure that you don't keep your eyes closed. You cannot sleep at this time because you have failed the people. All right, governors have failed the people. That's what I said. And this is the time that governors should wake up and bring in strategic issues and frameworks that can make the economy grow. Our economy is depreciating gradually, and we can't see people that were voted into power who have all the ability and the knowledge dying with the knowledge, and then nothing to write home about, and then the society is crying for help. It's a disgrace.
No, I'm just seated here thinking about when he said that he's going to meet with the head of service, he's going to meet with the NLC chairman in discussing the modalities in order to reduce the working hours of the people, you know, with a view to mitigating their plight. And now I'm just seated here wondering why he would meet with them instead of, at least I think it's going to be okay and commendable if all the governors should unite together and said, okay, we are going to the presidency to meet with them so that we can now tackle this thing because this has to do with the NLC, it has to do with agreement. Now, isn't just only to reduce the working hours so that they will now be going to farm? Either they are going to farm or they are trading or they are doing other things, you know, or for him, yeah, that's okay. That's okay because actually he said everybody is affected, the state is affected, everyone is affected, the government is also affected. So now he's thinking about this. I think it's also appropriate for him to call a meeting, reach out to other governors, meet other stakeholders in the country. Let them look at this whole issue and tackle it from the roots. Because if nothing is done, Nigeria is heading to somewhere very bad. Very bad. Yes, it's not going to tell good to Nigerians. And Nigeria is a rich country. So that's, I think, at this point, that's what they should do. Yes. And like you said, beefing up the security and infrastructure, yes. Everywhere. They need to beef up the security. But you know, if there is hunger in the land, it affects security. It does. If there is famine, it affects security. Yes. If the economy is not working well, it affects the security. You understand? So they have to nip this thing. They have to start from the root. Yes. I think they need to do something about this. They need to do something about it.
And the one thing I want to mention very carefully is that our governors, they had a plan for the people. Where is the plan? I've not seen any governor doing it. I can boldly commend the Lagos State governor because he is taking the bull by the horns and moving with it. But what about other governors? Put things on the ground. We want to see it's not only infrastructure where you can put a road, make bridges and all the rest, and then you are putting money in your pocket. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what will take the ordinary man out of his house every morning, and then he's coming back with something. The school girl out of the house, and then after school, maybe she's a widow, or I mean she's vulnerable, and the vulnerable and the poor. At this time, how do they survive? The vulnerable and the poor at this time, how do they survive? It's very unique. When it is a cup of garri, how much does it cost? And how much do you think a cup of how many cups of garri do you think will serve a family of 10, a family of 20, a family of 15, a family of 12? You know, it's unbearable. And these situations are what brings about crime. Crime. Now, if just watch from now till the next 1-2 weeks, crime will be crime will take over the wave. The peace trend of the country. And when you see those crimes, will you want to blame those who went into crime? No. You always blame the government because the resources are there. Oil is flowing every day. Every day there's oil is flowing. And if oil is flowing every day, the governor is relaxed. His appointees, the commissioners are relaxed. The lawmakers are relaxed. Because of what? They feel that what is coming out from the ground that God is blessing us with will continue. Even though it will continue, we should be able to do that one, that we know that if this one is not coming the way we want it, let our people live than to die. So that is what they should take note about, and not working hours. Working hours has nothing to do with the hunger of a man, because an hungry man is an angry man.
Yeah, well, if you don't eat, you cannot be productive.
Yes.
Once you don't have any food, and once you cannot even, like a mudu of gari in the Nigerian market right now is selling at the rate of 2,200 naira. This is what we buy at the rate of 1,000 naira. Now, if you want to buy drugs, you can't even get drugs in the market. Everything, there's nothing like 15 naira, even transportation.
Serious.
So everywhere is affected. Everywhere is affected. So these people, the governors, we the journalists,
yes,
we are only urging, we are only begging the government to do something.
Urgently.
It is very urgent. It's imminent.
Urgently.
If nothing is being done, honestly,
they will come out. People will come out.
Nigeria may record a high rate of death.
I'm telling you.
Because of this whole situation.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
Yeah, this is not
serious.
Yes, it's very serious.
Very serious.
It's very serious. So the governors, like the governor of Bayelsa State, I think you also, I commend you, quite commend you, because you must have sat down and think about the plight of your people before you now come out and say, no, I just want to meet with this, I want to meet with the NFC chairman, I want to meet with such persons, and say, okay, let us reduce the working hours. But that means that you have your people at heart. But we want like channeling it in another, in another channel, in another way, meeting together, calling for a meeting.
Exactly.
Calling for a meeting and see where is the problem.
Yes.
The root. Let us get to the root of this
and start.
Yes, because most of them will also want to be re-elected. You want to be re-elected, so whatever all the whole legacies will also speak for you if you also want to come back.
Yes.
And the other governors should also bear a leaf to what this governor is also doing.
Yes.
If he could think and reason and say, okay, let us do, this is just a plan.
Of course.
It has not been executed because they said he's going to tell them to see how they can do that. Okay. Now, so if he could sit down, I think it's quite commendable for him to have his people at heart. Okay, at this point, in case you are just watching or you are just tuning, this is Atlantic Television Network, and the program is called Press Roundtable. Now, after this break, we continue with all the stories we have.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
You're welcome back to Press Roundtable on Atlantic Television Network. More stories coming. This one is now coming from FCT Insecurity. FCT police nab second wanted kidnap kingpin. The Nigerian police force and the PF has arrested the second wanted kidnap kingpin terrorizing the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja, Samaila Wakili Fafa, also known as Habu Ibrahim. Now, recall that Samaila was one of the two kingpins declared wanted and had 20 million naira bounty placed on their heads by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike 2 weeks ago. Media report has it that the first kingpin, Seidu Abud Kadir, also known as Dahiru Adamu, had already been arrested few days after the announcement of the bounty. Confirming the arrest on Tuesday, FCT police spokesperson SP Josephine Ade said the operatives of the FCT Police Command in a continued effort against banditry in FCT and its environs on February 24, 2024 at about 7:05 p.m. acting on credible intelligence stormed Sadwana Forest, Toto, Nasarawa State and arrested Samaila Wakili Fafa, also known as Habu Ibrahim, a kidnapped kingpin who has been on the wanted list of the command for a long time and bounty placed on his head by the Honorable Minister FCT. The suspect is one of the two kidnappers the Honorable Minister FCT placed bounty on, as the other one, namely Seidu Abdul Kadir, also known as Dahiru Adamu, had already earlier been arrested by the command. He confessed that his syndicate masterminded the executed several kidnappings in FCT and its environs, including the abduction of Barrister Chris Agidi, the legal aid to Senator Ned Woko, and Mr. Sunday Yahaya Zakwai, the district head of Katy Village, who were later killed by them. Did you listen to this story?
Yes.
This story is honestly, you know what he's talking about? The second kingpin, this guy now, they has been terrorizing FCT for a very long time. He's been on the wanted list. Now, they were able to apprehend this guy because a bounty of 20 million naira was placed on their heads.
Yes.
By the federal ministry, by FCT Minister Nyesom Wike.
Yes.
Now, the first one was arrested and later on this one was later caught. Why? Because a bounty was placed.
Yes.
So what does this thing tell us?
Yeah,
what does this thing tell us?
Yes, it's a signal to tell us that actually the police intelligence is working.
Yes.
The police intelligence is working. And I also want to commend the military. They are also working very, very assiduously. Otherwise, it's not the money. This is not an issue about the money. But it's all about sincerity of Nigerians, trying to tell us that whatever it takes, whomever that wants to turn this country into something else, they would not want to hide the suspect or the offender. They would want to be exposed to the public. I think it's a good thing. I want to commend all Nigerians and those who made it possible for the police and the military to get out these kingpins. And also, our security architecture need to be properly beefed up, because right now, since the police intelligence is aware that due to the existing poverty and the unemployment rate in Nigeria, crime is growing every day. It's not depreciating. Crime is not reducing every day. It's increasing every day. And they need to think about bringing solution to the round table. And that means to say that since it involves security problem, there should be social security framework. All right? Social security framework for the youth, for the unemployed, and for the vulnerable at this critical time. It's very, very important. This is an urgent thing that government should work on, to ensure that those who don't have anything doing now, those unemployed, wherever they are, what is a plan for their life? What about the vulnerable? What about the poor? What about those people that are ready to work but there's no job for them? What are those plans that government can put in place for these people to ride on, so that the tension can reduce a little? Otherwise, we see crime increasing every day. It's not reducing. Now today, they'll be able to get these two kingpins. In the next 2-3 weeks, we should be talking about other kingpins also. So you can see that this is not ending anywhere. It's not reducing anywhere. It's not having, it's most having side effects. It's giving us side effects now. That is to say, nobody is safe. Look at the people that were kidnapped. They died in their custody. And what are we talking about here? Life. And should we allow our prominent citizens die in the hands of criminals? It's not allowed. The Constitution and the law does not allow it. And that's why he said the police has a duty to protect lives and property. The police has a duty to protect lives and their property. And therefore, they should rise up to the occasion to ensure that social security programs and projects and framework is put in place with the government. This is what the security architecture should do. It's not only on weapons and other intelligence, but on what can help our society come out of these problems, because we are actually in a dilemma. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. Nobody knows what will happen before next week Monday. All are in the hands of God, but we will not rest our oars to say we are going to sleep. This is the time that everybody should be working 24 hours, non-stop, to ensure that we come out of these security threats, because the security threat is increasing by the day, and we don't want it any longer. We want a solution.
Now, come to think about it, this is actually happening in FCT Abuja.
Yes.
You know, this as in the heart of Nigeria, the heart of the nation. And do you know, when these people were apprehended, he said they confessed that his syndicate, they masterminded and executed several kidnappings in the FCT and its environs. Remember that barrister Chris Agidi?
Yes.
Mr. Sunday.
He died in there.
Yes. And that's the media aide to Nedi Nwoko.
Yes.
Good. The husband to Regina Daniels. Now they died. They killed these people. They killed these people. They said all this, they've been perpetrating a lot of evils in Abuja. Yes. But now I think the security agencies, we have to commend them.
Yeah.
This is quite a nice
amazing
development.
It's amazing.
It's awesome for them to imagine the second most feared wanted kidnap kingpin in the whole of FCT, terrorizing everywhere. And all these things is also pointing to the state of the economy.
Yes.
It's pointing to the state of economy. You kidnap, you kill, and most of them are getting away with all those things. And they said nothing is going to happen to them. So I think the police, the security agencies, I even read the other time that these what do they call them? the other groups of security agencies.
Okay,
civil defense, yeah.
Civil defense.
Yeah, the civil defense, that they also apprehended other people and all of that.
Yes.
So I think they are, in security measures, they are really, really working very hard.
Well.
They are doing very, very well.
Yes.
Because, and you know our Wike now, we trust him very well. Wike, we trust him so well that he would do, because Wike doesn't like seeing hoodlums and
criminality.
He doesn't like them. He will make sure that he will get to the root of it.
Of course.
And that's why he placed that 20 million naira bounty.
Yes, he did.
Are you getting me? So now even other governors will also, learn something from there.
Yeah, of course.
You understand? Because if you're looking out, if you want to fish out those people perpetrating evil, crimes, kidnappings, you must place something on their heads. Because the criminals, they are friends, they know them.
They know them.
Yes, they have gangs, they have cliques, they know them.
And they will betray.
And yes, they will betray them now.
Betray them.
That points out to the state of the economy. Because if there is money, definitely, I don't think, if everything is working out really well, I don't think all these things will really be reduced. It will be reduced.
It's a good whistle blowing option.
Exactly.
Option.
This is, yes, exactly. You now reach out to those people and said, okay, take this extra amount of money, take 10 million, take 15 million naira. This particular group of people, they are really killing us. Or you're going to fish up, because most of them, they know themselves.
Yes, they do.
So if you don't give any incentive, they can't do nothing.
Of course.
They will not do, and they cannot work out. I think the security agencies are doing actually well. This is quite intelligence report anyway, because it takes a whole lot of intelligence to fish out these criminals. And time, money.
Yes.
Time, effort.
I commend them. I commend the military.
Yes,
and the police. They are doing well.
Yeah, they're quite really doing well.
Yes.
So other people should also do well to make sure that everything works out very well for the good of Nigerians. Now let's look at this one. Former governor of Benue State, Chief Samuel Autumn, has welcomed the probe of his administration and expressed his willingness to cooperate with the panel set up by the Governor Hyacinth Alia-led administration for that purpose. Now recall that Governor Alia on Monday night inaugurated 2 probe panels: the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the Income and Expenditure of Benue State Government from May 29, 2015 to May 28, 2023, and the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the sale lease of government assets, companies and markets, both state and local government-owned markets, as well as Mariband companies from or before May 28, 2015 to May 28, 2023, to investigate the last administration in the state. Justice Taiwo retired heads the panel on income and expenditure, while Justice Apollos Ide retired also chairs the panel on sale and lease of government assets, companies and markets. Now reacting on the setting up of the panels, Chief Autumn, in a statement by his media aide Trevor Akase, welcomed the coming of the panels and expressed his willingness to cooperate with the probe panels as long as the investigation is carried out in line with the law. He stressed that his administration was built on transparency, accountability, and good governance, and emphasizes his readiness to provide any information or clarification as may be required. Chief Autumn, however, urges his former appointees to equally make themselves available whenever called upon to provide clarifications. I hope you follow this story. And
yes, I do.
And the story of Autumn is ready for probe.
Yes.
And what do you think about this? It's ready for probe because once, some governors, once they just mount that office and they are done, they'll believe that whatever happened, that they will get away with it. They don't want to be probed. But this time around, Autumn said he's ready for probe, that they have to investigate whatever he did while he was in the office. How do you see that?
Yes, I think it's a right direction. It's a right move in the right direction. If all the 36 states put together would be adopting this kind of process, that at the end of every tenure, we will take the document and check one after the other how money is being spent and into what infrastructure. Were they completed or were they abandoned? All those issues are what the incoming government need to assess. It's an assessment of my predecessor. What did he do, and where are the places that, where are the projects that failed, and what are the projects that succeeded? The one that failed, were they the cause of the government? Were they the cause of finances, or were they caused by corruption? You know, those are the issues that are very, very important for a state government to tackle. It's very clear. But for Autumn, I want to say that for him making such statements should not just be of lip service. Of course, he made the statement that he's not really going to carry the crux of it. He's not going to carry the burden alone. If there's any matter that he has to answer, there are people that are giving official positions, all right, that need to come to answer to those issues that are going to be raised. I think this is the time that Benue State would once again come to tell the people exactly how their state is being governed. Because even in River State, we saw what happened. But until now, nothing has been raised. Nothing has been said. A budget of a state cannot be made known. A budget of a tenor cannot be exposed. It's quite appalling. Okay, it's quite appalling. But I want to say that the time has come when Nigerians should be thinking of how to make reforms and ensure that wherever we are not doing well, we should be open of doing it well. And wherever monies are leaking out from a particular source, we should be thinking of amending those aspects and ensuring that our pockets are no more leaking. Because where the pockets of a state is leaking means that it cannot achieve anything. All right, cannot achieve anything. And that is why today we are running helter-skelter. Because in most aspects of our leadership, we do not know what money is spent for. Nobody knows about that. And it in turn goes back to affect the economy because money was not properly utilized. This is the time that if people are cross-examined, if people are cross-checked, which is why we have separation of powers. We have separation of powers in the various arms of government because of this ensuring that there is accountability and transparency. And where there is no accountability and transparency, I think the law enforcement agents are there, the EFCC, the ICPC, to ensure that whatever money that anybody has taken for his own private use, whereas it's for public use, should be retrieved. It should be retrieved to ensure that those failing projects in the state are resuscitated. Because here, even in River State, our state-owned companies are dead, so to speak. Then how is it going to be in a state like Benue? It's going to be worse. So what we are saying is that the government, whomever that is at the seat of the helm of affairs, should set up panels, investigate their predecessors, and ensure that such things, if there are failures, the failures are amended and they do not happen again. Because the more they continue to happen, the more our economy continues to fail. And as the economy fails, the leaders fail our people. And when they fail our people do not have anything than to return it back to them. And if they return it back to them, I think there will be stability. Yes. And that is what every government is guiding against, that there should be no instability. So if there should be no instability, the right things should be done properly. That is the emphasis that the Benue State government is coming, that things should be done properly in a way and in a manner that it will bring dividends of democracy to the people. Because the people are expecting their dividends it is to impact positively on them. And those dividends are not things that should be done alone. It should be done collectively to ensure that the people benefit maximally. Thank you very much.
Exactly. And like that has to do with accountability.
Yes.
It has to do with transparency. And then it also has to do with if you are also planning to come out again, you want to run, people will check your records.
Of course.
Then now look at him now. He submitted. He said he submitted for. He want to be probed. Yes. He agreed.
Ready, yes.
Now they set up 2 panels, to look into whatever he has done.
Yes.
If all the governors in Nigeria
do this,
if all the governors in the states will borrow a leaf from this now, don't you think that it is going to go a long way in bettering our society?
There will be hope.
There will be hope of a better Nigeria. The instability we will not experience.
No values.
It will be reduced to the barest minimum.
God.
The values will increase. Because when you now know that you're going there, you're going to serve the people.
Of course.
You're going to serve the masses. Their interests should be at your heart, not just personal gains.
Yes.
What am I going to go home with? You want to secure for your generation upon generation upon generation. So when you now take all these things, some of them will like, nothing is left again in the state.
Yes.
But if all the governors will now do do like this man, I think it's going to go a long way in
great sanity.
Exactly, that is the word. Absolutely. They will sanitize it. They will sanitize the state. It will create that sanity.
Give the people hope.
And yes, the hope that there will be a better tomorrow.
Yes.
Because Nigeria is in shambles. Nigeria now, the economy of Nigeria is reduced. It's quite bad. All right, that's the much we can take on today's program. I want to thank you so much. You stay connected on ATN, Atlantic Television Network socials. You can follow and like our page on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, on Facebook and on YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, and Instagram, and on TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. You can also watch us live on our website on atlanticnetwork.tv. On our app, we have ATN Live, and on our YouTube and Facebook, Atlantic Television Network. Atlantic Television Network praise Roundtable. We provide the right narrative in news narration. At 8 p.m. this evening, in just a few minutes, Let's Talk will be coming your way, while Global News comes up at 9 p.m. I am Angel Ngokoma. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. But I want to commend my guest this evening, Mr. Kingsley, George Kingsley Papamie. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You.
You really did justice to this program.
Thank you.
I am expecting you to be here next time.
Thank
okay?
You.
All right. ATM Press Roundtable comes your way, same time tomorrow, every day, 7 p.m. Go nowhere and stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today.